The most popular questions that I get when I talk about stuff is how do I do all that I do, or why do I do all that I do? I'm a singer, but I'm also producing stuff. But didn't you just release a book, and shouldn't you be talking to us about that? So here's the thing, all of that stuff for me comes from the same place. It's really interesting because until I started writing my book, Finding Quiet, I did not realize how much trauma I'd experienced in my 20s. Some things I just processed as stress or things that were just annoying, but I didn't really realize how much it had a negative impact on my spiritual growth, my emotional health, and my overall wellness as a human. And so as I've spent my mid 20s and now my late 20s in a lot of therapy, a lot of counseling, a lot of healing, and just processing through a lot of the stuff that I've gone through, I've developed this new kind of hope and will to not just survive, but to thrive, if you will. I know that's cheesy, but stay with me. This desire to thrive has nothing to do with success or busyness, but everything to do with purpose. I actually don't know if it's still in my bio, but for the longest time, I said, I found my voice when I found quiet. There was a season where I felt like my voice didn't matter, where I was told that parts of my voice could not be shared, where if I wanted to talk about Tourette syndrome, it wasn't okay because that church doesn't believe I can have that. Or if I wanted to talk about being Black, that wasn't okay because that might make people who are Black uncomfortable. And so I felt like my voice was silenced in different ways for many different reasons. And I had to go and pursue quiet and pursue peace, not isolation, but solidarity and alone time, individual and intentional time with God and who He made me to be, so that I could truly figure out, who am I? What is my purpose? I knew when I was a teenager, but I lost it somewhere growing up. How can I get back to that place? Likely that we've all heard the phrase, hurt people hurt people. And when you experience trauma, you're hurt. And so when I dealt with that hurt, I had two options. Multiple options, I'm sure, but I could either be like, look, I'm hurt. My voice isn't being heard, and just like turn up and start putting all my business out on the streets and doing some stuff that maybe I shouldn't have done, which obviously I'm not perfect, but I chose instead to take a step back to make some major changes in my own life and be like, look, I can't fix what's going on around me. I can't change the people around me, but I can choose to find quiet in my own heart, in my own life, and see how God can do something in me from the inside out. That happened, I was 14. And yes, okay, I was in my mid 20s. I was a newly independent artist, but I was 14 all over again. I was dreaming all over again. I had this energy, this joy, and this sense of purpose that I lost in my 20s because, well, we already addressed that. And if you really want to know, you can honestly go read the book. But here's the thing. I relaunched my production company that I launched when I was 14 years old, because I was never born to be a singer. I was born to bring joy into this world. And I can do that through films and through music and through podcasts and through empowering other people in their voices. So I teach courses online because I don't want y'all following Jamie Grace being like, oh, let me all her songs. There are so many artists out here. And if I can use what I have to empower them, as the next generation, that's what I'm here for. I believe that in different ways, for many different reasons, all people grow up with some kind of privilege. So we didn't grow up with no kind of money. We didn't have a lot of status, but something that my big sister, Morgan Harper Nichols, and yes, I am related to the celebrity poet. Something that she and I both grew up with a lot of is faith privilege. Our mom and dad created this foundation of faith in our home that no matter what came our way, we had somewhere safe to land. Our family was without adversity, but the hope and the joy and the foundation in Jesus Christ that our parents raised us with, the ability to feel pain and embrace pain, but also embrace joy, that's a privilege that we grew up with that. And I'm grateful that it set the precedent for the women that we have become and the way that we are encouraging our families now as adults. But I lost that in my 20s, like a lot of us lose what we grew up with. I lost it for so many different reasons. I want to clarify that, yes, I did lose a lot of that, but some of it was taken from me as well because of some of the environments that I was put in that were not always by my choice. And that's not something that we're going to go into today. But what I am going to say is that there was a season in my mid where I took my album 91. This is after Beautiful Day, after Hold Me. Such a great opportunity to do those songs that I wrote I took my album 91, I took Party Like a Princess, I took Show Love, I took these songs to most of the Christian record labels in Nashville. And they didn't say no because they never called me. They never emailed back. They just said nothing. And I was sad about it for a little bit, but I'm going to be honest with you guys, because I had started to rebuild that foundation that Jesus Christ is the one who validates me. I was okay. And now here I am, like almost 30, making music from home, kind of sort of a stay-at-home mom, if we're being honest. I'm okay. I'm finding joy. I'm finding purpose because I found my voice when I found quiet. And all I want to do is continue to be intentional about helping other people find their voice and to empower and to uplift people that want to share their story well and share their message of hope as they walk into their purpose too. So when people ask me, Jamie Grace, you're writing songs? Wait, no. You're producing a podcast? Wait. No, you have a YouTube channel? Wait. No, are you on TikTok? Like, yeah, man. Because the joy that I have, the world didn't give it. The world can't take it away. And I never thought, there was a season where I never thought I would feel this joy again. So once I got a taste of it, which is the Lord's joy, and it's so good. Once I got a taste, I mean, bro, I'm gonna be just doing stuff and just celebrating and being joyful as long as I possibly can. Don't forget to buy my book, Fine and Quiet, or borrow it from a friend. Just do what you gotta do. I think it'll encourage you.